They can't fuck with us.
Still got it, motherfuckers.
It's my cousin, nigga. Spot alone.
Right about now, you are listening to the incredible DJ Nick B.
From LA to MIA, I get checks and won't fuck with a nigga unless he send a private jet for me. Gigi Gabor, pussy galore. I step through the door in Gigi velour. Walk through the crowd, everybody trying to get with me. Get tipsy with me and crack a couple bitches with me. Yeah, I'm a 6'4" driver. SBI is a G-Unit rider. Fuck a deal, motherfuckers. Less niggas trying to come off a mill, motherfuckers. I'ma blast these niggas, outlast these niggas. Move right through your state, shut down your estate. Chill, fuck your crew and your home. I hold heat cause I'm about my own, I'm about the zone. A setup artist, freestyle is flawless. Ain't a bitch in the game that can see me regardless.
I don't think they're ready. They ain't ready to die, I'm ready to ride. Jump in that Chevy and slide. No, 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 they ain't ready. I don't think they're ready. They ain't ready to die, I'm ready to ride. Jump in that Chevy and slide.
Now I'm so sly, tell me why should I boogie? Stay G'd up, fly in my hoodie. By the end of the night, they'll be riding my woody. He say he wanna fight, but then how could he? Cause me and my niggas was like 15 deep. And if you knew how many rounds the M16 keep, it's way too many for me to be selfish. And your skin is as thin as anyone else's. So you probably shouldn't act like y'all so tough, cause the yak is gonna make me have to call your bluff. The fact is, I know that y'all don't bust, and we do. Nigga, y'all know us, cause it ain't no secret, quiz or puzzle. From point blank range, your belly is the muzzle. And my favorite pastime is to guzzle and smoke. Watching them sprung on hustling low.
I don't think they're ready. They ain't ready
LA
to die, I'm ready
motherfucker.
to ride. Jump in that Chevy and slide. No. I'm ready to ride, jump in that Chevy and slide.
It's a common trend for me to swing again, bomb again. Chin head chin, forget your mother was my mama friend. Never been kinda thin, I kinda tend to be over-consumed with all the money I can spend. Until the end, on that green printed paper I depend. I sin to get it all, and once I get it I grin. Defend my dollars daily, never play or pretend. And I'm fucking with Gigi, that's the way I'ma win.
I'm a ski fast bitch, go hard on the dick. If a nigga's with his broad, I go hard on that bitch. For real, nigga. This is the deal, nigga. In the back of the black Maybach with a killer. We some West Coast riders, niggas. Do or diers. GG and blue, nigga. That's what it do, nigga. Spider came through in a drop, blue spider. When we talk, we G talk. My niggas, they see walk.
I don't think they're ready. They ain't ready to die, I'm ready to ride. Jump in that Chevy and slide. Ready to die, I'm ready to ride, jump in that Chevy and slide.
The rap. It's New West Coast, baby. Rock with it, let's go.
There's so many bitch niggas saying they after my head. They probably all say they got a nigga after I'm dead. And most say that the S5 get the best drive. But usually when you see me, I'm in a GT. Somebody should've told him that looks don't kill. He only grilled so gangster cause he took those pills. I got the gift of gab, a terrific jab. In the lab with some niggas that'll sniff a slab. I got some cheddar, that's cause I made my moves. Spent a huge amount of cash on the shades and shoes. I got 2 more Newports and 1 more blunt. I'm conceited, but I put up this humble front. I got potential worldwide, ain't just a banger, it's depth in my music. It ain't just the anger, I can speak about the happiness, I can be funny, but all my good thoughts connected to money.
How the fuck you gon' bang if your feelings get mushy? I stay harder than a dick, so I'm fucking you pussy. Pass the Ruger, watch me make a money maneuver. Keep your eyes on the homies, they the quickest to do it. How the fuck you gon' bang if your feelings get mushy? I say harder than a dick, so I'm fucking you pussy. Pass the Ruger, watch me make a money maneuver. Keep your eyes on the homies, they the quickest to do it.
Master my domain, surrender your guns. I'm like smoking Joe Frazier with cement gloves.
cats better think twice, you and them bums. I snatched the whole pine, leave you snacking on crumbs. My crew had heat for you knew what packing it was. 16 pulling stretches, now I'm back in the slums. Sweats baggy jackets in the middle of March. 10 speed serving fiends in the back of the park. If a cat can't hustle, then he drawing the chalk. I'm the dealer, check on Skrilla when I'm live in the dark. If a bitch on my team, then she playing a part. Cause I'm playing host from Cali all the way to New York. I was raised on the block where clapping's a rule. Where kids jack for shoe money to cop them some food. With niggas down 40s like Formula 8. Buy cars and burn the tires in the police chase. How the fuck you gon' bang if your feelings get mushy? I stay harder than a dick, so I'm fucking you pussy. Pass the Ruger, watch me make a money maneuver. Keep your eyes on the homies, they the quickest to do it. How the fuck you gon' bang if your feelings get mushy? I stay harder than a dick, so I'm fucking you pussy. Pass the Ruger, watch me make a money maneuver. Keep your eyes on the homies, they the quickest to do it.
Yes, yes, you and that rock, you with the best. Spotted low, foul feed. Alright, this record right here is with Papa Smurf, Bigfoot.
It's your boy Young G's, you already know, man. Shadyville DJs. Y'all know what it is, man. Quick, man. Let's go.
I admit he did a lot, he probably should've been shot, but just not at the spot. The whole hood've been hot, everybody watching, I could've been caught. I rock before I let it ride, he gooder than God. He must've hit a primo, with y'all done put in his pot. I pop, he should've just understood it and stopped. I don't do the tough talk, ain't with the arguing. I know what kind of car you in. You wanna die? What state of mind are you in? Hunt you down so there's nowhere to argue in. And then I don't even speak up on you. You gon' see me again when I sneak up on and giggle now, knowing that your laugh ain't laugh. Let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cash. Alone, and I don't even take no credit, but I'ma write you right off, and I ain't gon' sweat it. Damn, you heard about what happened to homeboy?
No, but yesterday he was yapping at homeboy.
Yo, bad, I wasn't just rapping, it's homeboy.
And just to think, it happened at home, boy.
Damn, you heard about what happened to homeboy?
No, but yesterday he was yapping at homeboy.
Yo, bad, I wasn't just rapping, it's homeboy.
And just to think, it happened at home, boy.
I told him, have my money or else. Sadly got me mistaken for somebody else. He tried to pay it off in powder, gotta rock it myself. But I ain't doing business less some dollars a dealt. If I caught him yesterday, would've shot him myself. Say he can have it by tomorrow, but I doubt if it helped. Cause see, I gave him ample opportunities. He opted tuning me out. Now I'm starting to assume that he sending me a message, and the message got through to me. He want problems, and that's really nothing new to me. I turn the incinerator up just a few degrees. I'm a rat, ain't no telling what I do for cheese. All I do is cheese and call me take the safety off. Hit him in his left foot, slightly take the baby off. So homeboy, you better break me off before the next shot's bake your thoughts.
Damn, you heard about what happened to homeboy?
No, but yesterday he was yapping at homeboy.
Yo, bad, I wasn't just rapping, it's homeboy.
And just to think, it happened at home, boy.
Damn, you heard about what happened to homeboy?
No, but yesterday he was yapping at homeboy.
Yo, bad, I wasn't just rapping, it's homeboy.
And just to think, it happened at home, boy.
First off, you ain't no killer, nigga. Nah, you don't spark a lot. I could've milked you, left you leaking in the parking lot. Too many eyeballs peeping, so I'ma wait. My trigger finger itchy, but the first 48, it got a nigga background checking and running plates. Kitchen sliding glass door, yep, I'm in your place. Up close and personal, this one is face to face. Yeah, mano we mano, now it's time to make waste. And ain't no last words, nigga. These hot rocks got you screaming on your last verbs. And what you last heard was blocker, lay down where you rest. And I'ma keep the strap in the safe and you keep the vest. And check this, you see my checklist? No women, no children, and no prince. It makes no sense. Playing for keeps and you know I'm with the business. I brought it off back and I'm the only witness.
You heard about what happened to homeboy?
No, but yesterday he was yapping at homeboy.
Yo, bad, I wasn't just rapping, it's homeboy.
And just to think, it happened at home, boy.
Nah,
they ain't got no nut with no whack ass in it.
Don't get caught with your drawers down.
When I'm naked, I lay on my side, I lay on my stomach, I lay on my back.
No Hanes, Calvin Klein's, Fruit of the Looms, Mushroom Moon, tooted up in the room, waiting to be manipulated, mounted in mall. Madam Mika said, nigga, strip down to your drawers on the set. Must not have heard her correctly, cause cuz bit the pillow laying literally naked. Biggest mouth, bad girls clubhouse, pyro, belly down, booty up, buns out, lucky. She work with the creep and the duct tape. Freaky ass fetish film, one man fuck tape. Wiretap nigga, known to tip the laws off. Nasty on the camera with your motherfucking drawers off.
You be screaming till you pass out. Who knew you did it with your ass out? Talking till you blue in the face. I'm just trying to take blue to the bank, 2 to the face, 2, 2, 3 is a K, and K can't make you a real nigga. I pray for any nigga that deal with ya. I shoot the Tommy off the hill, figure wow. It's try to put you on the menu. I got a pack of drawers I can lend you. Big business what I'm into. I got a pack of drawers I can lend you.
Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down.
When you get caught up, I hope them statements don't get bored up. We them niggas that's wicked, no need to warn us on one. Out lurking looking for a Vic. Nigga thinking with his dick, that's an easy lick. Kicking the doors, notorious, it's well known. Talk tough, but only gangsta on a cell phone. Just know the G's gon' get it in on the mission. Before it's done, they ain't leaving a witness. Back out, running the crib like a trap house. Straps out, can't do shit cause you assed out. Could get you lined by an internet diva. Ain't it ironic how my sister named Mika?
Have you on camera, ass up, looking back. Somebody please tell me what kind of gangster is that? Thought you was a real one, but I take that back. You a sus nigga with a team full of rats. Keep losing respect, you can't get back. Know you know some real niggas, but you ain't that. You a certified weirdo, talking this and that. How you callin' niggas out when you the same type of cat? Type of work popped up, and where the fuck you at? No smut on your name, nigga, what the fuck is that? Like me calling hoes like, don't forget the strap. Waiting in the telly, get his ass cheeks clapped.
Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down.
Whole new meaning when we say you niggas whack now. Weird niggas better check these whole bitches back. How you represent your hood, getting caught with your ass out. You with the industry, I think that nigga really trapped now. I'ma take the side that I'm supposed to. You on Clubhouse, you should be on Pro Tools. I wouldn't sign to you, all your artists old news. Nigga think he should night, this ain't the old school. From North Cali to the South, nigga. We hate watching niggas crash out, nigga. You too old to be doing shit for clout, nigga. We ain't with the going out like a clown, nigga. You know you wrong, nigga. How the fuck you get caught without them draws, nigga? Hella old and exposed, like come on, nigga. Now that big U cosign is gone, nigga.
See, it ain't so on my son and a dead low. Speaking caught him slipping with his booty to the sky, bro. Nigga, how you lie, though? You give the game bars, yo. Laid across the bed, want a man between the stars. Whack hole, no honey. Want a fade that's running. Man, fuck you, you gun it, but I know you don't want it. You ain't on that level, stick to banging naked in chats. For a nigga, change your channel with this infamous gang. It's the Google gang. Google what I do to your man. On behalf of Spider Locust, fuck you too, gang. Me Doja, bitch, boy, it's over. Better keep it on the split, but never know when I'm on you.
Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Don't get caught with your drawers down.
Check me out. Like a snow cone, my flow so stone cold blooded. Blood in his mouth, now his teeth are rose gold studded. SPI said to call him whack ho. No 100 niggas need that, but whack rap won't go. Run it naked on Clubhouse. Nigga, you a fruity loon. Really with the gay play. Ray J's booty goon. Ask the CPT. The streets keep none of you. You went from PPP to a BBW. Lion, crater face, Pinocchio with the big nose. Got 40 shot and sold guns to the 6 O's. But for this, he be less honored. He stripped for the bits, then call CPS on a nigga.
Whack 100. Face all bumpy, egghead nigga, mama shoulda named you Humpty. I dump thee, nigga, you are nothing. We all know the story, you the draws down, homie. DOE, I do my dirt by my lonely. And don't let me catch you in Kentucky. KY Jelly probably all that you want. And I bet you the booty goon that Ray J was flaunting. I heard you a rat, that's why you like to fuck with him. Fruit booty nigga on Clubhouse, ass up with him. All that pop shit, and that nip shit. It makes sense why you in Cali watching Nip Dick. On Netflix, wanna be tycoon. Heard about that Whack 100, Jeffrey Dahmer Part 2. Draws down your new name, and nigga, oh, the irony. Your face look like Warren Fishburne, or the butt cheek. It's real rap, all facts over feelings. It's a hit on your name, and you know I'ma kill it. SBI say to get him. You know a nigga whack, it took 15 minutes just to hop on the track.
Boy, don't get caught with your drawers down. They telling me it's a nigga laying on the bed.
Fox Production.
It was point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I could tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
Nate Bud, C-Mac, shout out my loc, Spider Loc, cuz. Nate Bud, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, crib.
In the words of Spider Loc, on my mama's mama.
The homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Loc.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch.
My nigga is Spider Loc.
Spider Loc, nigga.
Spider Loc.
Spider Loc.
Spider Loc.
Spider Loc.
Spider Loc.
Spider Loc, that's my nigga.
Spider Loc.
Spider Loc. Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
You are now in the black box with the homie Spider Loc, the most eastiest. Facts over feelings, keeping it a Google Plex. Feel my campaign.
Spider Loc, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loc is in LA somewhere doing it.
Google gang, straight legend. Google gang, SBI. Google gang, Google gang in here. You better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, baby.
Bottom line, love life, show us a blessing. Pull up politic and blow us a session. Spot a local most easty. No mistake in the station. They making them statements. We waking and baking. Word of the day, EC on replay. The marijuana-thon with VJ Keyway, BS and BS. Killing on the track in the black box. We never put feelings over facts. Pay Machiavelli, run me the bread. I don't get mad, I get money instead. I be high, you can tell by a nigga eyes. But wise enough to enterprise, you dig a lies. Contemplating with the Google gang, conversating. counting coins while these cowards in the comments hating. Only thing count, my count getting another comma. I'm a magnet to the money on my mother mama.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, gang.
If you can't keep it a Google, then don't mention me. Run a check through the set, I bet them niggas mention me. Red Bull and Hennessy, I keep the same energy. No matter on a solo or a couple homies with me. Tell them come get me if they want confrontation. I keep a couple shooters with me. And we right here waiting on shit to pop off. Take a nigga top off, you tempt me. All that BS, you can miss me. Slide down Century, doing about 60 in the gutter lane. Faded off yak and drop the pistol, hopping out the rain. I won't change, keep it a Google the only way. Mention me, I come out and play. That's on the gang. We're not the same. I ain't nothing like these rap niggas. Hanging with bangers, no bodyguards, we all strapped, nigga. All truth, no lies, facts over feelings. We ain't gonna start something we can't finish. Google gang.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, bang.
Cheetah. Gratitude is the attitude. This show is a blessing to be back in the black box as we blow us a session. Oh, baba. Hyperbole. Hyperbole is the word of the day. Hyperbole. Give me a moment to creep up on it. Where I put the thingery at? Damn it. My bad, y'all. Damn, I thought it should be close. Oh, bam, okay. Hyperbole refers to language that describes something as much better or worse than it really is. The customer's letter of complaint included a number of outrageous claims and was generally full of hyperbole. The children were disappointed to learn that while the ice cream cones were very large, describing them as foot high was pure hyperbole. Why would they lie to the kid? That's what made me laugh. I seen that coming. That's E9. Y'all see that new light in the background. On my mama, Kanye West is dominating the headlines, y'all. I seen the Drink Champs interview. It seemed like Lucas got an album coming out. I'm curious as to that because it seemed like every time he hit the main line with these antics, he flipped it into some type of superior, successful move with his career. And so I'm just curious. I could be incorrect. However, everybody aware of all the drama he done started with not only the White Lives Matter shirts, but then this newly correct Drink Champs interview, because man, this world has such little, I guess, as individuals collectively to a group, as a community, as a society, we have such little important things to focus on, that such small things with such lack consequence get so much of our attention. Now, I find it highly ironic that when he was introduced on the Drink Champs interview, upon introduction, Nori spoke about how well the numbers did last time he was there. Then he went on to make a whole lot of controversial statements that recently caused them to take down the interview. He made statements that were not identical, but similar to what Nick Cannon had made about a certain group of people. You know, this is why I feel like Kanye did himself a disservice by going out his way to wearing the White Lives Matter t-shirt. Because at a time when he's trying to apparently make a statement that's firm and sturdy, similar to the one he made about George Bush and the way he didn't care about a certain group of people, it seems like he's trying to make a statement with those similar sentiments. And it's kind of hard to just stand alongside him and support him just based on the confusion he caused with wearing a t-shirt that states White Lives Matter, which no matter how deep and articulate his explanation is what he was trying to pull off and what he was trying to express, for the typical person who believes in their heart that Black Lives Matter as a phrase, not as an organization, was something that needed to be said. It was basically needed to be said because it's so obvious that white lives have mattered for so long in this environment that we're discussing. So it's like, damn, why confuse, the average person? We already are torn with supporting this organization. And still we don't want to support the organization based on its reputation. However, none of us want to say Black lives don't matter, so we still want to hold on to the phrase. Now, why would you dilute it and confuse it by coming on with this White Lives Matter shirt and then start making the statements that he made? I find it highly ironic, though. I do have to join this bandwagon. You can be Nias in Paris. You can do a million songs about killing Nias, murdering them, finnucking on they weed knife, they gee Earl, doing whatever, bro. And there's no outcry, no backlash. I remember at one point there were a group of people that was making it their business to like burn CDs or run over them. But it seems like as long as the degradation and the downright disrespect is reserved to us, it's okay. We all know how negative the word is. Never. I don't even know a derogatory word for the group of people that Cuz went to speak upon. I don't know. There may be some that are common that exist. I'm not familiar with them. However, not even speaking in them like in a in-word sense, like if they have a word, I'm sure they do. I'm not familiar with it. Just speaking upon them. I'm trying to find out. I need somebody to type in the real inflammatory statement that he made. You know what I find ironic, dude? It seemed like dude is going through a lot, and it seemed like every opportunity he got, he was bringing up Kim Kardashian. That's all he really wanted to talk about. The other shit was like he was spazzing, going off on the. But every time he got opportunity, he was bringing that shit back around to Kim. Oh, my mama. He tried to, I seen Ice Cube make a statement like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Whoop, wop, wop. I've never been a whoopty whoop, and I'm not now. And I think he said he didn't see the interview. He didn't know why he was dragged into it. And from what I could see, all I could recall Kanye saying about Cube was, I talked to him about this subject because he has at one point in his career been labeled as such. And I'm only familiar with that word in my life because I remember it was thrown around in regards to Ice Cube. But Cube like, man, leave me out of that. I ain't none of that. What y'all think the future hold for Kanye in this chaos caused by him considering himself keeping it clean? Y'all heard all the while I was making sense though. On my mama, we got Lost Tapes, volume 3 and 4 on the way. So I got a lot of like old music loaded up that we ain't heard in a while. You heard me playing some of it in the intro. You dig it, lies? But I don't know, man. It is interesting how you seemingly cannot say how can like they say, oh, it's okay. N word is okay because it's y'all saying it about y'all. I can say I'm Nick, I'm Robert. That's all cool, right? But let Mr. West say anything about those folks. I can't even really pick out a derogatory phrase that he made. He spoke about them and what he perceived their pursuit in a capitalist society has been what it is. He applauded their success. He spoke on their history, their origin as far as a monetary force, and then he also included himself as one of them. So if it's okay for us to call ourselves the word, and he also identifies as one of them, why is it not okay for him to have an honest moment according to his reality? I think that's okay in society. The phrase "your truth is accepted." I'm just confused as to why he wasn't allowed to speak what he considers his truth. You dig a lot? Oh, blah 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 blah.
Another music DJ The One exclusive.
You gotta love it, you gotta love it.
It's called Help Me Lord, featuring my bro Delamo Reese. Yeah.
Can't sleep with all these voices in my head. Waking up in a cold sweat, thinking of the dead. Taking blunts to the head, just to ease the pain. With these evil ass thoughts still racing through my brain. You would think I was insane if I told you what I seen. Did I really kill that nigga or was it just another dream? Born with no fear, heart like a king. Hustle in my blood, killer in my genes. One tell me to do it, the other say no. One tell me to stop, the other say go. My head spinning, I don't know what to do. I would ask myself, but I don't know who is who. This shit is crazy, and I know that it's real. All my windows closed, but I still get the chills. Some say I'm tripping with a lot on my mind. Is it just me, or am I one of a kind? Help me, Lord. Pray for me, Jesus. Cover me with the blood. Forgive me for my sins. Help me, Lord. Pray for me, Jesus. Cover me with the blood.
I try to put my hand in the hand of the man that walks the sea. I can't see him, but he talks to me. Grace. I recite the song when I'm alone, contemplating right from wrong. Trials and tribulations create this type of tone that I speak in. Living in this life alone. I'll never win going up against these odds if I don't tell the truth and utilize God's gift. Mama stayed on me, grandmama prayed for me. Still a lot of drama, baby mama played on me. They say the Potter wants to put me back together again, and I put him back on the cross whenever I see him. But then he's got to know that's a whole lot for me to have to be responsible for. If I could just even make better mistakes, that's a start. Clean my heart, whatever it takes.
Help me, Lord. Pray for me, Jesus. Cover me with the blood. Forgive me for my sins. Help me, Lord. Pray for me, Jesus. Cover me with the blood. Forgive me for my sins.
Shout out to my cousin Delamo Reese. That record real deep right there, bro. Maybe I saved the depth of it for story time one day. Yeah, that's another thing I couldn't get with how Cuz downplayed the whole George Floyd situation. But like I said, I'm trying to stand in less judgment of a lot of individuals, Kanye West included. Seemed like he drowning in that billion on my mama. Uh, yeah, that billion seemed like it's doing something to it, and he won't come back on my mama. But it's crazy that out of all the people he could have mentioned and we could have spoke on outside of him speaking on himself, he spoke on Ice Cube, and a nigga was already gonna tap in on Ice Cube. I see y'all already. So many trolls came in the in the chat want to debate me on what the title claims that Ice Cube is the first sports league, black sports league on the right. Alright, I'm not even finna look up no stories related to it. Cause it's crazy. Even y'all that's debating with me know what I'm referring to. There are headlines circulating currently that are giving Ice Cube props for being acknowledged or recognized as a major league sports owner for the Big Three League that he's been pushing, promoting, and parenting for the last, if off the top of my head, it seems about 5 or 6 years. It may be more. But I remember when it seemed like an idea like the XFL that wasn't going to last too long. And salute to him because not only has it come out recently that he's been acknowledged as a major sports league owner, which is a big move for him as an individual and for us as a community, but it's also being reported that I believe it was ESPN and another major sports network have been really giving him a hard time on, being established and recognized as what he actually is. And I don't understand what would be such a difficult route for him to go. I don't want to be inflammatory to anything he has going on. However, just imagine, primarily, if not entirely, I believe the rosters are made up of ex-NBA players. So imagine being in retirement from the NBA, whatever income you are capable of scraping up outside of the Big Three being in existence. That's what reality was for, retired players. Here it comes. The individual establishes, presents, and sustains a whole nother ecosystem of finance for retired NBA players. Just with that being considered alone, why wouldn't this be something everyone applauds for and be willing to accept? I'm willing to bet that the Big Three, if not already, will eventually, in the very near future, when it comes to revenue, outperform the WNBA. What could be the problem? What could be? It's not like they're competing for actual NBA talent now. If you got people rushing into retirement to join the Big Three because it's becoming that competitive, then maybe I can see some type of corporate clashing or, resistance. However, I'm pretty sure that's not what's going on. You dig it, lies? But I could imagine that outside outside just the player, there are probably a number of employees that Cube and his organization employs, and from what I can see, it's a win-win. A way for professional ball players to extend their career beyond the typical expectancy of a career. Money to stimulate the economy wherever the games are played. Something else for the fans to look forward to. So much bad news in the world in general, especially when it comes to rappers. Rest in peace, Coolio, and then all the other robberies and murders and shootings that are always associated with hip hop. I just don't understand how off top, just hearing anything anything like Ice Cube, league, basketball, recreation, sport, millions, retirees, getting to eat again. Why is that just not a natural, automatic reason to applaud? I am extremely excited and elated because, anyone who's familiar with me whatsoever knows for years I've held it high that if I had to just pick one, he would be considered my favorite rapper of all time. So, outside of the realm of rap, he's also been successful just as a human being in entertainment. And I appreciate that, as long as we've been aware of him, he was married young. Never heard about him getting no scandals about, this, that going on affiliated with those type of situations. And it just seemed like he, for the most part, had his head screwed on straight. And if you had to look from, the outside looking into the world of entertainment and look for anyone that you would think would be an example of how you would go from nothing to something and maintain a pretty decent balance and stay pretty free of scandal, he set a pretty good example. So I'm proud of Cuz for being even mentioned as, if not the first, the only current. I don't know the correct terminology. We got somebody here trying to name people who own these type of teams and that in Atlanta. Like I said, I didn't memorize the headline. However, Ice Cube is in the headlines for the big three being recognized, understood, honored, and established as a major sports league, and he is being recognized and honored for being the black owner of said sports league. All I'm gonna say is it's a good way to get money.
Fools for putting any faith in the 50, and they only signed me to keep them safe in the city. Two hoes with me, both bad bitches. They say the dick delicious, the vocab vicious. Don't wanna see me shine, I don't know why. The sun the only star that can light the whole sky. Too many wanna be me's in the same constellation. Be yourself, or else you get a gang constipation. Don't dirt on my name, trying to muddy my movements. Pay them no mind, the teacher don't study the student. Pitiful, pathetic, sounding predictable. They say you got flow, can't be counting the syllables. Doja got Davey looking dumber every song he does. I feel strongly to show him how wrong he was. The truth leaves bitch niggas speechless entirely. They can move for your weakness, inspire me.
When you see SPI in the streets, hit me up like what's the business? Big money, bad bitches, that's all that I know. When you see SPI in the streets, hit me up like what's the business? Big Mac and get riches, that's all that I know. Life ain't nothing but bitches and money, hoes and clothes, that's all a nigga knows. Big Mac and get riches, that's all that I know. Life ain't nothing but bitches and money, hoes and clothes, that's all a nigga knows. Big money, bad bitches, that's all that I know. Oops. Hey, my bad. Hey, y'all think Nori was wrong for taking down the interview? It seemed like everybody got opinions on that subject, what you think his motivation for taking it down was for? Probably most likely, more than anything, we can assume what the reason why. But you got to think about it. Everybody jumping to the conclusion that it was the controversial things he said about cultures and races. However, if you remember who owns the platform Revolt, he also said some derogatory things about the owner of the platform. So at the same time, which is Puffy, right? And I know that might seem like a lot less consequential than speaking on a certain group of people, and like it gotta be the group of people. However, just think about it. They say May. Well, not they didn't say Mace, Cameron, and JD Kiss had a tour schedule coming up. Title Three Headed Monster, major tour, and Mace hopped out recently and had some inflammatory things to say in response to some type of statements Puffy made, and ironically, shortly thereafter, it's been reported that the tour has been canceled, and everybody is assuming or suspecting that Puffy had that done. So it's not above or beyond understanding, belief, or my realm of suspicion that even though we know them people do move a certain way when they are offended, if you really, really, really listen to what Ye said about that particular group of people, I really find myself struggling to find the part that was offensive or negative directed toward them. I don't see anything that he said toward them that was not factual. Even it didn't even rely on history in the sense of in comparison to what Nick Cannon said. Nick Cannon went into a more spiritual, historical, ancestral perspective on that group of people, and that was a lot different from what Ye did. He spoke more about a more practical um, experience and perspective on what they represent in a more financial sense in a capitalist society, and he only spoke on things that the public are typically generally aware. Every statement he made, he gave an example from the music industry to the fashion industry, and I think a lot of times, what may be the issue, and we see him struggle with this a lot. It may be the delivery, but once again, I just be perplexed with supporting him in general, just based on like he makes so many statements that are unnecessary, bro. Started off getting at George Bush, uh, getting at the world on behalf of us, saying George Bush don't give about us, right? And everybody was, as a unit, we felt like, and I'm not speaking personally, I'm analyzing the collective thought. We felt like we had a voice on the other side of the struggle. We mean success that had the courage to speak up on our behalf on important pertinent issues, even when it took uh, a lot of courage, awkwardness, when you could easily get away with not doing it. People, we appreciated that, and then it seemed like since then he's taking that same against the grain approach to be offensive toward us. If we keep in score, it seems like he's had more moments of that nature that has been offensive toward us than that we can be proud of at this point. And that's just confusing to me. I don't know how you go from the one that jumped out there saying George Bush don't about us give a in such a bold fashion on a platform when no one was prepared for it and being established. That's almost like, could you imagine Malcolm X wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt? Could you imagine Malcolm X after us as a community being relieved and appreciating finally seeing some justice brought to law enforcement after one of our lives were taken unjustly on camera. Can you imagine Malcolm X breaking down the footage to try to speak on behalf of the fact that George Floyd may not have died in a sense of a murder like that the officer had been found guilty of? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Malcolm X giving a about anything related to George Floyd? His lifestyle, his past, his condition, anything other than the fact that he was black and he was harmless and he was killed slowly on camera. That would be the only thing that mattered to somebody that really stood for what we would believe and hope that Ye stood for when he was making statements directed towards George Bush. But if we start, like I say, we take score, we got the one about George Bush, bam. Now he went on Drink Champs and tried to make a similar impression. So I'm going to say that's two. Y'all going to have to remind me of any other that'll go on this side of the scoreboard. However, I can recall on the other side, he said slavery seemed like a choice. He said things about Harriet Tubman that were unnecessary to state. The White Lives Matter shirt, ridiculous. At least that's 3-2 with the major ones. My mama. And I'm going to say 4 by forging such a close alliance with Candace Owens. And then he want to get on the Drink Champs and talk so this nigga that and that nigga that nigga that. I know for a fact Candace Owens is not readily aligning herself with that type of rhetoric and posture and disposition. Are you that? Well, you know what? Oh, my mama, that's another headline I've been stumbling across. They say Candace Owens' husband, a white man, was in some type of sense of ownership of an app. I believe it's the same app that Donald Trump purchased or became affiliated with when he got kicked off the major platforms of social media. So now they said that Kanye has either agreed to or he has purchased the app from her and her husband, or from her husband. And the app, they're saying it's really a wasted purchase because it's not allowed on any of the major app stores. And so they saying maybe the whole time she was planning just to dig up in his pockets, because I can't imagine the way she tries to keep a certain type of image about herself, and then she speaks down when Candace Owens approaches the public and speaks about the imagery of us. She speaks very derogatory to people who carry themselves the way Kanye carried himself in that Drink Champ interview. You can go do the sound bites. Even when she described George Floyd's character, she described him somewhat in the manner we saw Kanye carry himself on Drink Champs, and she did not approve of that type of behavior. So I know she is doing some type of compromising within herself or within her system of beliefs, or what she attempts to portray in order to maintain this close connection with Kanye. I just wonder why. You know, certain people don't even have a problem with certain things going down with their spouse, so it ain't no telling what all might be taking place. Might feel like a trap. I ain't gonna do y'all like that no more and put this I'll be playing the music before I hit mute. I ain't gonna do that, my bad.
I swear
it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back. And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back. And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back. And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when
Hit
I
a
go
lick
back.
for a bird one time, he used to stay with 9. Break it down in all dimes, I don't play with mine. My daily grind was to serve the fiends. In the same dirty jeans, I deserve the bean. J-Rob hit the rock, turned this whole world out. Just had to knock him out at the homegirl house. She only 16, assumed mother to be. Her pop's always been like a big brother to me. I done 4, maybe a little more, but not half as much time as Lil Bo. I can leave 10 niggas with they wig peeled back, but I can't bring Big Milk back. It's been a minute since I seen Big Coop. Riri and Dope, he still love to get loot. My big brother Slick, he and AZ, Xbox, no beef between me and JG.
And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back. And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back. And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back. And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back.
I dropped the dope sack, still carry the gun, and I had your mama had to bury a son. Off cognac when the maniac ride. Took the little homies on one when baby Aunt died. Police killed Ron Ron, Merc and Slim. Tiny Crease went bad, cuz worked for them. Eject shells from the Glock, bail from the cops, and lay low at the spot with the 1200 blocks. I did a few movies, a little TV. I'm typecast loony like Lil BT. I got a Benz and a bike like Bams. Eat Fish Factory, I don't like Tams. Pushing more candy than an ice cream truck. Me and the Cutlass look nice cleaned up. The bass tube sub, the AC blows. Turn your head, Playboy, and away she go with me.
I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back. And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back. And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back. And I swear it's like a trap, but I ain't giving up on the hood. It's all good when I go back.
Architect Beats.
That's another thing to think about, though. Look, the George Floyd family is suing Kanye for some dough, right? For some big bread, based on the things he said about the George Floyd's passing. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Now, no matter how ridiculous you find that concept, oh, they taking him to court because he said this, he said that, or whatever, right? You, myself, anybody, we might feel that's ridiculous, petty, sensitive, or whatever. I even heard Judge Joe Brown give some commentary speaking out against the fact that he is being sued. And he was speaking about it in regards to the First Amendment. You're right, your freedom of speech, right? He was like, whether you agree with Kanye or not, and he said he agrees with him on some things he says, and other things he doesn't. But he was saying what he does support is his right to say whatever he wants. And you know, Judge Joe Brown speaks very candidly about how he feels the climate of our society has gotten with the sensitivity. And he uses words that the majority of us are not typically comfortable using, just based on the way they're received. But he talks real grimy on the subject, and I, could perhaps support that position, even though I don't appreciate what he said about George Floyd. If we're living in a society where there's certain rules supposed to be in place and supposed to apply across the board, you have to accept, understand, and acknowledge that, yeah, just like a lot of other folks in other situations, Kanye West should have the right to speak his mind, whether we agree with him or not. I don't believe that there should be able to be legal action taken against him, even though how preposterous we perceive his statements to be, saying that we didn't watch what we saw on on that film. But at the same time, I can't call his name right now. Once I start talking about it, y'all gonna put his name in the chat. It's a white dude. It might come to me. I think if he from the Info Wars, the Sandy Hook situation. God bless the dead, all those that lost their life. Condolences to their loved ones. Cuz in a similar fashion spoke about the way they died, and he didn't say that okay, they're dead and they died a different way than everyone's claiming or that everyone believes and understand. He said that hold on, I'm gonna say this. Somebody said you ain't see him get hit with that fentanyl. Look, bro, I see the fentanyl being mentioned and all that. What I'm saying is, ain't nobody seen him take the fentanyl. So the officers who obviously had no regard for his life that he was losing while they were on scene, pledged to protect and serve. I don't put it beyond them to may have shoved some fentanyl down his throat to make the process be a little more effective. So fentanyl or not, I know what I saw. Fuck out of here with that. But Alex Jones, yeah, that's his name. Alex Jones, whether you agree with it or not, and I'm not even trying to speak on this subject from a position of taking a side, no dog in the fight. I just want to make y'all aware of the climate. Y'all might think that's BS that he getting sued and it's not gonna go nowhere because he ain't really do nothing. But Alex Jones, he lost a lawsuit for a Bigliani, and I'm pretty sure George Floyd's family and their legal team, their aide, is fully aware of the climate in the courts with the Alex Jones case and how he successfully or he unsuccessfully defended himself against a suit against the Sandy Hook survivors or those that lost their lives, their loved ones sued him for the statements he was making in relation to their death. Somebody say the Floyds were settled. I believe the Floyds were settled. You say that as if they're going to do that in a sense of desperation. No, the typical sense, a lot of these situations, the family would prefer not to go through a lengthy legal process. And if the person that they are litigating against is considerate and cordial enough to offer a settlement that is feasible in the eyes of the person that was offended in relation to what they can imagine the court would do, then a lot of times, it's the better route, the better course to stay out of court. Who just wants to go to court? The last song I played is called Like a Trap. Don't nobody just want to go to court. You feel me? Especially the families of people who lost their lives in tragic ways. Nobody wants to go to court and hear the details and, the scenarios surrounding their loved one's death replayed over and over, hashed out photographs, videos. People don't want to, go through that. So if we can find a way to settle and once Kanye legal team shows him what happens to Alex Jones, and then he may even we see him fluctuate so much his realm of stance and emotion. Like we saw how he spazzed on Sway years ago when Sway was trying to advise him and direct him to a certain extent. And he literally tried to son, like the New Yorker niggas would say, he tried to son Sway. Like, you don't got the answer, Sway. You can't tell me nothing. And then years later, he was conscious enough, and I guess we have to say man enough to admit and express that Sway did have the answer. So I could imagine when he is, now that he is really faced with litigation from the Floyd family, I believe he would seek to settle. Not just to avoid a lengthy court process, but I think he will have the kindness in his heart and the benevolence in his heart once he realized how they actually were offended. I don't think it would just be him going through lawyers. I think Kanye is the type of person that would want to make it his business to meet with the family. My mama. And, really make amends for the ridiculous way he spoke on the passing of George Floyd. It's, I think we've seen in real time, we already knew without $1 billion or anything near it, we saw how much of a time bomb or how impulsive Kanye could be, even from the Taylor Swift incident, going up there where she was receiving an award. So that was just success at certain levels having an effect on a certain individual. It's crazy, and now we seeing what that can be magnified with, more success. It's telling niggas to come and get him and all that. Oh, mama. Whatever it is. And they use it as a photo op, just going off. Him steady clam on you. It's my thing. The internet is such a large, vast metaverse. Okay, Drink Champs officially took the interview down, but it's still available in its totality all over the internet. So many people done ripped it. I imagine they're not able to monetize it, but they still got it up playing. I guess it's just that interesting enough. If Drink Champs took it down, I don't believe that thing could be monetized. I might be wrong though. Oh, my mama. Every other woman going to that. The media is a cold place. What else we got coming up on this thing? This too, huh?
I don't care how big, how loud, don't matter. Any pistol pop, guarantee the crowd